look at how nice everything looks in this build. Check it out. Gorgeous fans, gorgeous RGB. Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be checking out the Cooler Master Masterbox NR200P. I did receive this product to review, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product, you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. You can see the retail box and packaging right here walking us through some of the key tech specs and features for this case. It's definitely big on features and small on size. The color we have here is purple, but they have multiple gorgeous color options available to fit your preferences. Also, I want to point out you can fit a full-size GPU in this case. It's really rather impressive. Now, also, you may be wondering, what version do we have? There's multiple versions and variations of this case. For our particular unit, you can see we have the version that has the tempered glass panel, but you can get one without that if you don't want. This one comes with the tempered glass panel, and you can still have the option to use a regular metal mesh side panel if you would prefer. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the contents. Here are all the contents. First up, you can see we have our user guide and manual right here walking us through all the customization and configuration options for this particular case. It's really customizable. You can see some of the different configuration settings that you have on this side of the guide. And we can flip that over to this side as well. You can see that continues on depending on your cooling situation and how you want to configure it. They also have warranty information for you as well. Next up, you can see we have our accessory box, we have our tempered glass panel, and we have the case itself. Let's go ahead, let's look at this stuff in more detail. So next up, you can see we have our tempered glass panel right here, 4 millimeters thick, color is black, and you can see what that panel looks like right here. So we have the option to use this panel or to use the panel that's already on the case. It's up to you. Here are all the accessories. First up, you can see we have a kit full of zip ties, screws, and grommets for hard drives. Next, you can see we have our fan splitter cable right here. Then we have our GPU riser if we want to mount our GPU vertically. They give us everything we need. Lastly, we have two identical Sickle Flow 120 fans right here, 650 to 1800 RPM. Now let's go ahead and look at the case. So here's the case up close. First, we're going to look at it with all the panels on, then we'll take everything off. So at the top, you may notice we have our I/O right here. So two USB 3.2 Gen 1 ports, power button front and center. We have a reset button, and we have our 3.5 millimeter audio and mic jack right there. Check it out from the front. I love how simple this cover looks. It looks really nice with the Cooler Master logo, and this purple is beautiful. It's a beautiful case. I've also had the orange one, and the colors are fantastic in person. It's really rather impressive. Now you can see it from the side right here. This is the back side. We have our mesh grate cover. Here's the very back. Again, you can see 3 expansion ports at the bottom, and we can vertically mount our GPU, where our motherboard I/O is going to go, and our power cable. Here it is from the other side. This is the panel that we can swap out with the tempered glass panel. And now you can look at it from the bottom right here. This is removable for easy cleaning. It just is magnetic and snaps right in place. So you can see down below what we're working with. And again, right here, this is going to be how you're going to pry off the front panel. Just gently pull that out. So now we're looking at the case with all the panels removed. So check it out from the top right here. You can see what you're working with. And you're looking down in, you can see where the power supply is going to go. We can configure that and move it over here if we want. Now we can look at it from the front so you can see all of our I/O again. We have room for a pump and SSDs if you want to try to sneak and configure that in depending on what you're after. We have some room at the bottom too, you can see. Now we're looking at it from the back side so you can see what we're working with here. Power supply motherboard will be there. Then you can see it from the back. Again, power connector, motherboard, vertical mount, or our 3 regular expansion slots at the bottom. Now you can see it from the front. We have options to mount a hard drive here. We can also mount some hard drives to the power supply case if we want. This is removable. And then you can see the very bottom again right here and what we're working with. So very small and compact, yet there's a lot of room to customize your build in this case. All right, so here's a look at the completed build without the GPU, so you guys could really see the inside and appreciate what we got going on here. But our cooler looks fantastic lit up, and it's very, very quiet. Our additional fans look great too. Really happy with how everything came together. Power supply fits great and is working great, and the fan hasn't even kicked on yet, so everything looks really nice. Let's look at it up close. All right, so here we go with the handheld cam. Look at how nice everything looks in this build. Check it out. Gorgeous fans, gorgeous RGB. You can see the cooler down here too. Everything looks really, really nice. We have our connections for the build too, so you can see HD audio right there. On this side, we have a fan splitter cable with our USB 3.0 hiding down there. Then we have our main front panel connector, as well as our main power for the board. And then over here in the top corner, you can see we have our CPU power right there and a fan for our cooler. But yeah, check that out. Now let's go ahead, let's look at it with the GPU installed. Now you can see what everything looks like with our GPU installed. It's really cool that we can use that riser if we do want to mount a GPU. In our case, depending on the size, you can see with our cooler and everything else that we chose, this is going to be probably all we can ask for in regards to cable management and having enough room. So if you have a smaller GPU and you want to use a cooler like this, you will be able to do it. If you have a larger GPU, you'll be hard pressed. You might be able to zip tie and brace some of these further back, but you can see with a smaller case like this, you will be limited in your options depending on how you choose to configure it. So first up, you may notice we have all the panels on our build right here, and you can see our current idle temps for our CPU. We're rocking 31, 32 degrees Celsius. Now let's go ahead, let's put it under load, and let's see how hot this gets and how good of a job our cooler does keeping it cool. So now you can see we've been maxing out the CPU for over 10 minutes at 100% using Cinebench, and you can see we're fluctuating between 67 and 68 degrees Celsius, so well within range, and it's doing a really nice job keeping everything cool. I want to point out too, this is a very quiet AIO. You're really never going to hear it at all because again, I can't even hear it right now, and we're at 100% load for our CPU. Everything's staying nice and cool. Also, I want to argue that depending on the build that you're using, you'll probably see even lower results than what I'm getting, because if you notice, mine is venting out that hot air at the bottom of our case, which is definitely not ideal. So if you could mount this to the top or to the side, I'm going to guess you'll probably see even better results, but everything is working great. It's nice and quiet, and it's keeping our PC nice and cool, even under really high intensity tasks and loads. So now let me share with you my final thoughts after building in the Cooler Master NR200P. This is actually my second build with this case. So first time around, we did it with the orange case. Now we're using the purple, and I can't stress enough how good the colors look. This is a fantastic small form factor case that you're going to want to show off to everybody. It just looks so good in person. I would highly recommend getting the version with the tempered glass window. Obviously, it comes with the other panel if you don't want to use it, but chances are you're going to want to be able to see inside, especially if you plan to set this on top of your desk or something like that. The window is really a nice choice. This build was more complex. We crammed our 240mm AIO in there, and we did a vertically mounted GPU, and it turned out great. Plenty of room. It's tight, but there's plenty of room to configure this how you want. Don't forget, we can move the power supply if we want. They technically have room. You can mount a pump to this case, additional 2.5-inch drives. So overall, it's small and compact, but it offers a lot of customization, and the colors look so good. You really can't go wrong with this case. Well, that concludes our video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, the product link will be in our video description below. Please go ahead, check it out, and do your shopping from there. Any purchase made through that link helps support our channel at no additional cost to you. So we're really grateful and thankful for all of your support. While you're at it, can you go ahead and hit that like button for us? And subscribe to our channel. We have new content coming out daily, and we don't want you to miss anything. Please go ahead and give us a follow online and make it a clean sweep. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Discord. You can message us on WeChat, check out our website, and join our free newsletter. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget, new content daily, and we can't wait to see you in our next video.